Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Dougie. Today we're starting a soup. We're gonna do the Hamburger Minestrone. This was our house soup in my restaurant, and it's super easy to make, and there's no rules. I start with hard vegetables. You know, I've got the celery, the carrot, and the onion, the mirepoix, and then I have a couple of zucchini. I've got a couple ears of corn. I've got a bell pepper. This one happens to be yellow. I've got a couple cans of diced tomatoes, a can of some black beans. It could be kidney beans. Any kind of bean is fine in this. And then I've just got some green beans. And you could use any type of combination of vegetables as you like. And then we're going to have a chicken stock. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to prep the veg, get it all into the thing so we can start going in the pot. And we'll talk about seasonings later. Okay, we're going to put a couple tablespoons of some olive oil in here so that we can get things going.
All right, you're on.
Okay, I showed you I use fresh corn. You could use canned corn. This is what I have on hand. This is what I'm going to use. So I've chopped up all that vegetable here with the exception of the zucchini because the zucchini is soft and it'll break down too much if we get it started. All this stuff is pretty hard. We're going to get it working before we add the tomatoes and the stock, and we'll spice it up. Okay, we're working here. Give it a little look-see. We want to get things translucent. I have a laurel bay leaf tree, so I'm lucky. Pop a couple bay leaves in there. We're going to do some salt and pepper on this just to get it started the right way. Not too much, because our stock is going to have salt in it. If we need more salt, we can add it later. Okay, it's working nice. Almost ready to add our tomatoes and let them start cooking with this. Okay, our onions are translucent. We're going to dump some tomatoes in here, 2 cans. And this is going to make a good amount of soup, believe me. Okay, I'm going to start adding some spice right now. We're going to begin. When I see tomatoes, I think of Italian herbs. So this is just a blend of Italian seasoning. Probably put about 3 tablespoons down right there. Got some paprika. And season to taste. You know, if you like things spicier, you can make it spicier. That's about 3 tablespoons of paprika. We're going to do the same thing with some chili powder. But maybe go 5 on the chili powder. I'm going to put a little bit of Old Bay. Maybe 1 tablespoon of Old Bay. And we're going to give it a good mix. I'm going to add a heaping tablespoon of minced garlic. That's rich, baby. Now we're going to add our stock. Okay, we're going to add our stock. I have about a gallon of chicken stock that I just made from my base. Use your base. still very rich with spice, the paprika and the chili powder. And that's fine. We're going to bring it to a boil. And then we'll add the zucchini after that and some black beans. Okay, with the hamburger soup, we obviously need some meat. I could have done it in the big pot, but you know what? I'm trying to watch the grease. We don't want a lot of grease. So I'm going to brown the meat, drain off the fat, and then we'll incorporate it with the soup. Okay, we've got a nice steady boil going with this. Let's add our can of black beans that I've drained and rinsed. I've got some green beans here. These are Italian green beans, a little flatter, but it'll be nice. And then I've got 2 zucchini that I've just cubed up because they will break down. And they add a nice touch to a soup. So we're browning the ground beef, and once that's browned and drained, we'll add it to there, and they will marry.
I'm filming just this.
I'm going to get rid of some of this fat.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to add our meat now. So when you make soup, you can be very flexible. I've got a lot of vegetables and meat in here. You see, it's not as much juice as I need once I put in some pasta, because I'm going to add a little pasta to this at the end. You do not have to put pasta in it, and you don't have to have it more juiced up than this, but this is great if you want to freeze it and then just add some water or stock to it later. But since we're going to be putting in some pasta, I'm going to need some more liquid. So I'm going to put another half a gallon of my chicken base in here. Much better. We'll let all those flavors marry, bring to a boil and simmer for maybe 30 minutes, and then I'll turn it off, and you can add the pasta when it's off because it'll be hot enough to just carry it through. Okay, this is awesome. I was talking to my producer and filmography specialist, my daughter Maria, and the stock tastes like a beef stock because of all the spice that's in there and working with the hamburger. So we've just turned off the fire, and that thing's plenty hot. So I have 2 cups of small elbow macaroni. I'm going to give this a good stir and walk away from it. And it will cook, I don't know, like 30, 45 minutes. But the great thing is it will expel the starch and tighten up the stock a little bit. That's the beauty of it. And I didn't put too much in there because we don't want to lose all that beautiful broth. So we're going to walk away from this thing for maybe an hour, and we'll come back and take a peeky poo. As I'm waiting for my pasta to do its magic in the soup, I'm also multitasking in the kitchen today. It's Christmas week, so I'm making some pies. I'm doing a little baking, some cookies and pies. This is a very unusual cake that if you have been to my restaurant before, you might have had it as a special. Lemon cake pie. Over 100-year-old recipe that I got from a gentleman that was an older gentleman when he gave me the recipe, but his name was Tony Bastoncherry, and his family owned the Bastoncherry Citrus Ranch in Fullerton, and it encompassed thousands of acres. And this was his mother's recipe, and he gave me the 3x5 cursive writing card of her recipe on it, and I copied it and played with it, and after I made it for him, he said it's just like Mom's. So what it is, it has like a lemon curd on the bottom, and then the flour that's in the base mixes with the egg whites on the top and makes a light cake on the top. Absolutely amazing. We'll probably do it on a show. Okay, it's been sitting like an hour with no heat on. And we put 2 cups of the small elbow macaroni. Look at this. It multiplies. It's just like a rabbit. But this is a nice consistency. And as I said before, you can freeze this stuff. It works great. In fact, I'll be freezing a bunch of this. It's just nice to have it available to pull it out in the morning or whenever you want. Put it on the stove. It's ready to rock. So, since Maria's home, we're going to let her be the taste tester. Alrighty, Hamburger Minestrone, here we go.
Cheers. So good. Give it a 9.9 out of 10.
Wow. You heard it. That's huge. Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you for subscribing and watching us on YouTube. We look forward to seeing you next week. Peace out.